welcome to my kcse revision channel, Teacher Marita, English Boys High School. Kindly subscribe, click the notification bell such that you get notified once I upload a new video. Today we are looking at kcse revision mathematics paper 2, and our topic today is from Form 3 work, that is the equation of a circle. So in the equation of a circle, we have you might be given the equation of a circle, x squared plus 4x plus y squared minus 5. This is equivalent to 0. So from here we are supposed to find the center, and the radius of the circle. Find the center and the radius. Find the center and the radius of the circle. So once you get this kind of problems where we have x squared plus 4x plus y squared minus 5 is equivalent to 0. So you normally use a completing square method, but you can look here, the equation must be of this form where we have ax squared plus px. Then we have what is missing here. We don't have a py in this case here. So we have the coefficient of x squared here, which is 1. We have coefficient of 4, a coefficient of x which is 4. Then we have a coefficient of y squared which is 1. So what is missing here is normally the y. So how can you find the center and the radius of this circle? Using the complete square method, we can complete a square method, and I want to give a very short method here, a simplified method. We take this 4x here, you take the coefficient of x, which is 4, then you divide this one by 2, and then you square this one. So this one is giving us what? So if you take this one here, you square, we can take, it is giving us 2, and in this case, squared. And you know that 2 squared is equivalent to 4. Now, we have the coefficient of x. We don't have the coefficient of y squared. So the coefficient of y in this case is 0. So you just take 0, which is the coefficient of y. You divide it by 2 here, and then you square. Of course, this one is giving us 0 squared, which is also giving us 0. So once you have done like this, so there is this x squared here. X squared is the same as x times x. So you just find the square root here, x squared, which is giving us x. So square root of x, you take as this one as x, like this one here. The coefficient of x divided by 2 squared is giving us 2. So this one here plus, in this case, you plus 2. This x is squared, this 2 is squared, so we can have this square a common square. So we have this one as a common square like that. Then plus here, we plus now, completing square on y. In y, we don't have y. So in this case, we have 0. So in this case, we will say it is now y plus, in this case, 0. So we have this y squared, and then we have this 0 squared. So we can have a common square, and a common square like this is equivalent to, so we have this 0, so we can transfer this c, a constant c, which is 5 to the other side, it becomes a positive. So we have there positive 5. Then now we take this 4, a completing square on x, which is giving us 4. So which is an addition here. You add this 4. And finally now, you a complete square on y, which is of course 0, so you plus 0 on this side. So what you can have, you have this one as a x, in this case plus 2, so this one is squared, plus y plus 0. This one is also squared, which is equivalent to 5 plus 4 plus 0. This one is giving us 9. What you do now from here, you just find a square root of x plus 2 squared. a square root of x plus y squared, y plus 0 squared, and of course you find a square root of 9, which is a square root of the radius, a square root of the radius. So if you carry out a square root here, if you carry out a square root here, you carry out a square root here, and then you carry out a square root, so this one you carry out a square root. So if you carry out a square root, we remain with x plus 2. So this one we can have x plus 2. Then we have plus, this one will remain with y plus 0. Then this one is equivalent to, the square root of 9 is equivalent to, square root of 9 is equivalent to 3. So the radius, the center now from here, the center of that circle, this is a positive 2. Positive, you change it to be a negative, comma. This one here is 0. So we have as the center as negative 2, comma 0. And the radius in this case is equivalent to 3 units. So this is the radius of the circle, and this is the center of that circle. We look at another question. So the equation of a circle, so we have been given the equation of a circle, which is the equation of a circle with the center A, comma P. The equation of a circle with center A, comma P, which is given as x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus minus 10y, then minus plus 30. This one is equivalent to 0. So we have been told from here to find the values of A and P. So from here, find the values of A and P. Find the values of A and P. So the values of A and P, let us look at this one here. So we have x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 10y plus 30 is equivalent to 0. You use a complete square method. So the simplified method here is we can have complete square on x, and I've said this one you follow this a very simple procedure. You take this coefficient of x, you divide it by 2, and then in this case you square. So here we have negative 6. We have this one as a negative 6. You divide this one by 2, and then you square this one. This one is giving us negative 3, which is of course squared, and this one is giving us 9. That is the coefficient of this x. Again, you take a coefficient of y, which is negative 10 divided by 2. So we have this one as negative 10. You divide it by 2, and then you square this. This one is equivalent to p minus 5, which is squared, and this one is giving us in this case 25. So we start with x squared, then we have the coefficient of x squared, x divided by 2 squared, which is now 3. So we have x squared and negative 3 squared. This is a square, that is a square here. So you can have x minus 3 and a common square, like that. Then plus now here, we have this is y squared, and then we have minus 5 squared. So these are squared. So we can have y minus 5 and a common square, which is equivalent to, you transfer this 30 to the other side, it closes the cosines, it becomes negative 30 in this case, plus we have a coefficient of x squared divided by 2 is giving us 9, so you plus this 9, and then finally you have the coefficient of y divided by 2 squared. This one is giving us 25. So from here, you can carry out as the square root, but before the square root, you can have this one as this is x minus 3, this is squared, plus y minus 5, this one is squared, is equals to p. So this one plus this is giving us 34. 34 minus 30. So we are getting this one as 4. So from there, you carry a square root. You find a square root here. So you carry a square root there. You carry a square root there. And then we have a square root there. So a square, this one here, we can have x, in this case minus 3. A square root of y minus 5 squared is, it is y minus 5. And the square root of 4 is equivalent to 2. From here, our center in this case is equals to p. This one here is a negative, so we can have positive 3, comma. This one is a negative, we have this one as negative 5. And in this case, our radius is equivalent to p, 2 units in this case. So our answer, our question, we were to find the value of a and p. And remember, our circle having these centers a and p, so it simply you have to find the center of that circle. So from here, our center is 3, 5, and then the value of a is equals to 3, and the value of p, this one is equivalent to 5. Now, we can also have another alternative method, how you can find the center and the radius of this circle. If we can have the first one, using a different method here, we have the first one, we have as x squared plus 4x plus y squared minus 5, this one is equals to 0. So there is a equation, we call it the general equation of a circle. So if you use the general equation of a circle to find the center and the radius of the center and the radius of this circle, the general equation of a circle, so you can write this one as x squared. So we have x squared plus 4x plus y squared minus 5. This one is equivalent to, don't now in this case equate this one to 0. So you just equate this one to the general equation of a circle. Our general equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared plus, in this case, 2kx plus 2my, then plus here constant, then everything is equivalent to 0. So you can now make a comparison between this equation here, we have an equation here, and then we have the general equation of a circle. Remember, I'm doing this question 1 using an alternative method. This question 1 using an alternative method to find this center and this radius. So when you compare the equation here and the general equation of a circle, so we have x here, x squared, then we have x squared. We have 4x, this one will correspond to 2kx. So you correspond to this one here. You correspond to this one as 4x, this one corresponds to 2kx in that case. So what will you do here? You divide both sides by x. So if you divide by x here, then you divide by x there. X and x will go. Then you have this one as 4 is equals to p 2k. From here you find the value of k. You divide this one by 2. You divide this one by 2. So the value of k is equivalent to 2. Then again, we have a coefficient of y is not there. So we can say that 2my, which is supposed to correspond to y on this side, which is not there, but we can now say that 2my, this one is equivalent to 0, because the coefficient of y is not there on this side. So from here, if you find the value of m, you divide by y, 2y on the other side. So from here, our m, the value of m is equivalent to, the value of m is equivalent to 0. So how do you now get the radius? Using this formula, the center is normally given by, the value of negative k, the value of negative m. Then the radius is equivalent to p, a square root of a value of k squared plus the value of m squared minus a constant c. So what can we have from here? So we can have that our center The value of k, here k is equals to 2. These are negative. Negative terms are positive. We have this one as negative 2. Then the value of m is equivalent to 0. So negative m times 0, so we can have this one as 0. And that one now brings us this center, which is negative 2, 0. To get the radius of this one here, this one is equivalent to p, you find the square root of k squared. The value of k is 2. 2 squared is equivalent to 4 plus the value of m squared. M is equivalent to 0. If we square 0, you can get 0 in this case. We subtract the value of a constant. The constant in this case is negative 5. So you will subtract in this case negative 5. So this one gives us a square root of 0 plus 4 plus 5. This one gives us 9. And if you find the square root of 9, this one will give us 3 units. So this is an alternative method that you can use to find the center and the radius of the circle. You follow my channel, you click the notification bell such that you get notified once I upload a new video.